What's going on, guys? Aiden Smith, Paint Pro Coaching, and in this video, I am going to show you how you can set up your sales appointments for success so you can close more deals in your painting business with a pre-qualification process. Guys, before you get to that appointment, before you get to the quote with the client, your sale starts before that, right? And in this process, I'm going to explain, talks about how you can set up your client to be closed on the spot. You want them ready to write you a check, right? That's the name of the game. And then you can get more clients, you can close more deals, you can help more people use your company and get a great experience with a contractor. So without further ado, we're going to talk about pre-qualification. Before I get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel because it is super important that you get kept in the loop so you can grow your painting business, but also that this advice helps you. If you are going to be selling painting projects, it is absolutely necessary, I would say mandatory, to pre-qualify your leads. Not every lead is a good lead. You will find that out very, very quickly, especially if you are paying for leads. So before I kind of get into the process of how to, set them up for success so you can sell more than 50% of your projects like we're doing right now, you need to understand that there's a difference between a cold lead and a warm lead. So what is a warm lead first? A warm lead is, it's like somebody's throwing a baseball at 20 miles an hour and then you have the bat and you're just ready to pounce on that and hit a grand slam, right? It's the easiest and best leads you can get. It's the word of mouth leads. It's the direct Google search leads. Painter near me, right? Where they find your company, they call you, and it's like, I am looking for you. Come out to my house, provide me with a quote, and I want to consider going with you. Or let's just say you're a part of a networking group and the local roofer in your networking group says, hey, Aiden does all of my painting jobs. He's an amazing contractor to work with, just like me. And he's already vouching and selling for you. So when he gets you in touch with that prospect or client, you are already basically in the door. You just have to provide a price and just be reasonable, right? That's the ideal with a warm lead. And yes, you do have to take them through the same process, right? To make sure they check the boxes on service area and if they even want a service that you offer. That's kind of a gimme, right? But then on the other hand, you have cold leads where a lot of painters struggle with. And those are your Angie leads. Those are your Facebook leads. Any paid lead service are going to be the ones that you have to kind of more rigorously pre-qualify, right? You have to ask some additional questions. There might be even people that they're just looking for a number. They don't even necessarily want to hire somebody. They just want you to come out so they can pick your brain and then that's it, right? You really don't want those leads. And I'm going to show you the process I use to make sure we kind of weed those guys out, but also set the expectation that we're being aggressive. We don't want to waste our time and spend an hour with you, hour there, hour back. And now it's like we can't get that time back and we were never going to close you anyway or get a chance to work with you anyway. So what is our actual process to go through and pre-qualify leads? Number one, like I said, every lead should be qualified in a similar fashion. It's just kind of like nuance when it's cold or warm leads. Number one, where are they located, right? Can they even work with us? Are they in our service area? If I'm going to be traveling an hour and a half to an estimate, it must be a really, really good lead. And I mean, I might not even go, doesn't really matter the amount of money, right? I mean, you have to figure out what your service area is. And a lot of times what I do is I draw a radius and I say, hey, I talk to my, appointment setter and I say, we don't go outside this bubble. And that's kind of it, right? Even some areas, zip code wise, I might just save the trouble and say, I don't want to go there. It's not a, neighborhood where we will get a ton of clients because we're a premium service provider. And they're not really, looking for that. They're really looking for budget guys, which we try not to position ourselves as, right? Number two would be, is this something we can even help with, right? So we do interior, exterior paintings. We really don't do cabinet jobs. If we are going to do cabinets, they have to be a lower end cabinet set. And I'm talking like, if it's any nice house, we don't do them. But if it's like, hey, we're doing a full renovation on like a decent lower to middle income property, we don't mind doing the cabinets. But if you want a professional factory finish, I'm talking creme de la creme, we will refer them to someone else or just flat out reject the job. We don't want to take a chance at something that we're not great at. Another thing is accent walls, custom accent walls. That is something we actually do where we do trim and different, wallpaper and stuff like that. So those are things we can offer a service for confidently where maybe other companies don't, right? So we can sell kind of that. But you have to figure out what is your exact offer and what type of services are you willing to offer to your clients. Number three really is motivation, right? What's the reason you're getting this done? I need to build some rapport with you, but also understand, your mindset when it comes to getting a painter. You will find a lot about the prospect through that question. What's the reason for getting this done? And some might say, I need this done by end of week.
I need this done yesterday. I need somebody to come in and give me a price, but I'm not willing to spend X amount.
I now understand your motivation now. And with that information, information, I can make a decision if it makes sense for me to move forward with you, or if it makes sense to say, hey, you know what, might not be the best fit, but here's a referral, or have a good day, right? Another thing when it comes to motivation is figuring out kind of like their budget consciousness. If they're saying, hey, I need 1 bedroom done, do I go, right? I kind of let them know, hey, I have a job size minimum. We use that a lot. It's $1,250 for our company and $1,500 for exteriors. So if it's an interior job and they say, yeah, I just need 1 small bedroom done, my appointment setter knows that is a red flag. You should know that's a red flag. I just need 1 small bedroom done, nothing crazy. They're already not expecting to spend a lot. And what we'll say is, yeah, I totally can help you with that. And it's something that we can do, but you do have to spend up to $1,250 to work with us. If you wanted to add on something for it to make it worthwhile for you, or maybe that bedroom just might be worth more than $1,000, right? Have that conversation candidly ahead of time so you're not wasting your time. One of the most crucial parts that you have to go through as well is setting the expectation, right? What does the actual appointment process look like for you? For me, I explained that it's gonna be about 45 minutes with us. We expect you to be there for the first 10 to 15 minutes and the last 10 to 15 minutes so I can go through the exact scope of work and that we can go over all your questions and pricing all there. If I tell that to the client, they're gonna make sure they're there. They're gonna make sure we schedule a time where they can actually be physically present with me and sit down, talk scope of work, talk numbers, and potentially sign right then and there. That is a huge game changer for me because I know every client or prospect that I talk to, they are set up to close now. They understand that we're at least gonna be negotiating what the scope of work is and what the price is. So that kind of gives me a leg up to be able to close a lot better on the spot. So definitely make sure you implement that. And it's also good because like, what if they don't show up on time? Or what if they're like, oh, well, I thought you were just gonna drive by and give me an exterior estimate. Come on, we don't want that. We want them to know exactly what it is. And it also makes you look so more professional, right? You have actual processes. And then along with the setting expectation, I always ask as well, hey, is there anyone else interested in the project? Maybe a spouse, maybe somebody else that may be related to the property. This is important because this gets you ahead of the objections as well. And it gets all decision makers in the actual property at once, right? So you can talk to both and they don't have to hit you with the, oh, I just gotta talk in my way. I would rather schedule a time where we can all meet and sit at the table and discuss rather than having to go back twice or having the husband explain everything to the wife. It's kind of a lot. And then lastly is the pre-close. And this is more with cold leads. With cold leads, you kind of want to be aggressive, or if you feel like you're on a cold streak with sales, I will hit them with a pre-close. And what this looks like is I'll just let them know, hey, if everything looks good and we check all the boxes and you are looking to move forward with us, we do offer a scheduling discount. Try to be as aggressive as possible because if you're just going to offer 2.5% or a couple $100, people might not take that seriously. But if you could say, hey, it really helps us out because you get on the schedule, keeps our guys busy, we'll help you out with a 10% discount, a $500 discount, whatever it is, you have to make sure that the pricing lines up with the actual scope of work. But 10%, no matter how big or small it gets, you pretty much have that wiggle room. It makes people say, okay, yeah, I'd be willing to have that conversation in order to get a solid discount. So definitely use the 10% scheduling discount to your advantage. You will set yourself up to close a lot more deals. Make sure you are pre-qualifying your leads because it is extremely important to close jobs, get more clients so you can grow your business. So share this with a friend, or maybe not because you probably think they're competition. But anyway, like the video, guys. Tune in for the next one. And Aiden Smith, Paint Pro Coaching. I will see you soon.